if you like,
You want to be in my video?
no.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's not going to be that long. It's okay. So, good evening, everybody, or good morning, or good afternoon, like I said. So, I am Zarina Elamine, founder of the Legacy Story Keeper. So, I wanted to come on real quick because you all need to register for Sunday, this love weekend, this Black History Month. We're going to be having our story launch. Okay. Our story launch is going to be on this Sunday, the 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I said something in one of my classes around life story writing that I wanted to unpack a little bit right now. Okay. I always say that family stories are more valuable than we realize. Um, and let's talk about that just a little bit. So, let me ask you a question. Do you know how your grandparents met? Or um how many of you know what your great grandmother struggled with in her 20s? Or how many of you know what was the hardest season that your father had to survive, right? What was the hardest season your father had to survive? The truth of the matter is that most of us don't have the answers to those questions. And what we don't realize is what that cost us, okay? What that cost us. So, um hold on. I see you guys coming in. I think it's working. I just want to double check and make sure because I have recorded a whole thing and nobody can hear anything. So I hope that it's actually working. Can you guys hear me? It looks like it is. Okay. So hopefully it's working. But my point is that most of us don't realize what that silence, what that ignorance actually cost us. Okay. And when we talk about inheritance, we talk about houses, we talk about land, we talk about insurance policies. But what about the wisdom? What about the resilience? What about how your story has survived and been passed down through your families, right? So this Sunday, we're going to be celebrating elders who refuse to let their stories disappear. Okay. And tonight, though, I want to explain a little bit more of the backstory of why this matters, more than just like a feel good thing, but why this actually matters, because there's data to show this. So, I went on a deep dive, as I typically do, on the science behind what it is that we're doing with this legacy work. And there was research done by Emory University professors. Marshall Duke was one of them. And they created something called the Do You Know scale. Okay. So they asked children simple questions. Do you know where your grandparents grew up? Do you know how your parents met? Do you know about a difficult time that your family survived? And here's what they discovered. They discovered that children who knew their family stories had a much higher sense of self esteem. They had a stronger identity and, like, they were just more resilient, more emotionally resilient. Now, it's not because those children had more money, it's not because the children had like perfect families, but they had narratives to fill in the gaps. The kids understood that, okay, my family has been through some hard things, right? And we kind of overcame it, right? And when you know that type of data, when you have that type of knowledge, it creates a sense of emotional stability. So when I say that stories are valuable, I'm literally talking about like the psychological strength that we're able to pass down to the next generation just from them knowing more about the truth of the matter, even when it's not perfect. Okay. Even when it's not perfect. Now, here's something else that is very, very, very sobering, because we have data now that shows that within 2 to 3 generations, most family stories are gone unless they're intentionally preserved. So think about it. Your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, and it's definitely your great great grandchildren, for the majority of us, will not know your voice, right? They will not know your mannerisms. They will not know your struggles. They will not know your dreams unless they're documented. Now, the thing is that people often realize that they want to document this stuff, but they think they're going to have more time because they say, "Oh, I'll write it later," or "I'll record mama, next year," or "I'll get to it when things slow down," or whatever. But life does not slow down. We already know when elders pass, entire libraries disappear. So I'm not being dramatic. It's just like the reality of it all, right? It's the reality. Now, if we don't document ourselves, we can't expect that others will, because you think museums are going to have the most important things and blah, blah, blah. Museums close. Libraries, they lose funding. Communities get displaced, Immigrant stories get like simplified or just erased. And where I come from, like Black history, they try to reduce it to like a little paragraph or a line or whatever. So if we don't document ourselves, somebody else is going to end up defining you, and it's not going to be your truth. It's not going to be flattering. It's not going to be inspiring to your progeny and community, right? Because they're not going to capture the nuance. They're not going to capture the faith that was there, the family jokes, the recipes, the little small details that make you who you are. They're not going to capture that. But even more than that, they don't want to. They want to make you look like you didn't have any contributions to nothing. So we got to control our own narratives, right? Because families preserving our stories allows us to control our narratives. Nice. It looks good, right? So here's what we're doing, okay? We are investing the time and energy into preserving our stories, because corporations spend millions of dollars preserving their origin stories. We know that luxury brands like Rolex and such, they don't just sell products, they sell like heritage. This has been here for years. They sell legacy, they sell tradition, right? And they protect their founder stories because they understand that the story itself has value. I don't understand why we can't figure this out. Like the 1% understand that the story itself has value. There is a reason why they protect their story. They protect that brand. We hear brand. Maybe you want me to say that word, right? Maybe that's a better word for you. Like they protect their brand. They protect their story. What we got to realize is that we have to do the same thing. We have to do the exact same thing. Okay. And if we don't, not only will it disappear, but our stories will actually be manipulated and changed to devalue who you are. So I'm inviting you all to come and join us on this Sunday, because this is a part of our 100,000 Stories movement, where we are capturing 100,000 stories. We're helping families capture their grandmamas, their aunties, their uncles, their granddaddies, right? We're helping you capture your story for your generations to come, whether you have children or not. It's not only about bloodline, it's about the future generations, okay? So we know story keeping builds resilient children, okay? We know that story keeping preserves cultural truths. We know that story keeping protects identity. We know that story keeping actually, creates psychological strength, and it's going to shape how the future generations see themselves. So one day somebody is going to be thinking, they will either thank you for what you did today, or they're going to be like, dang, I don't know. Do you know? Nope. Do you know? Nope. Do you know? Nope. I don't know jack squat, because they didn't record that stuff. They didn't think that it was valuable enough. And now look at me. And you know yourself that there is somebody that you wish you had something more of, like something like you wish you knew a little bit more about your great grandmother or your auntie or your daddy, like your grandfather. Who was your great grandfather? Who was your great great grandfather? What they do that contributed to how you live right now, right? When you know that stuff, is power. So, like I always say, we cannot go back and change the past, but we can utilize what we know from this point and go forward. Okay, we can do that. So, I'm inviting you all, register right now. I want you to go to 100,000stories.com. That is the number 100,000, 100,000 stories.com, 100,000, 5 zeros. I want you to go to 100stories.com. I want you to register to join us. This is our Super Bowl watch party. All right. You're going to go, you're going to have your friends, you're going to have your elders. If you have a grandmama, auntie, or uncle, or somebody, I want you to go over to their house, make it a day, invite them to watch with you. Let them know, you know what? I see you. I want to appreciate you. I want you to know that I recognize you. I love you. I want to know more about you. All of that. You can do that by having them come to this watch party on Sunday. All right. So go register. And when you officially register, you're going to be entered into a drawing, because we're going to have some raffles for amazing prizes and goodies and stuff. But you have to register. If you're not registered, then you're not going to get it. So 100,000stories.com, register. We'll see you on Sunday, and invite somebody else. If you have any questions about this movement, if you have any questions about how to write your own story, or what you can do to start to get your family history and stuff, let us know. We are here for you. All right. We're here for you. So register at 100,000stories.com. If you believe that stories are wealth, if you believe that we need to make sure we capture this stuff and don't keep letting it get into the ground 6 feet under, then we want to see you there, because stories are disappearing every single day. I don't know about you, but I have been to a lot of funerals in the last just few weeks. We scrolled down. I forgot there was 2 actors this week that passed very young. One Detroit Lions player just passed. He was 56, I think. Like young, right? 56. And he's gone. We are not promised tomorrow. We can't expect that we can just wait and wait and wait. You're only given today. So make it happen. Go to 100,000stories.com, register. I can't wait to see you all on Sunday. All right. Peace, everybody.